Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is the Dust Homestead. My name is Josh. We're back out here in the greenhouse and I'm going to go out in the garden here in a minute. It is an absolute disaster around here. I mean, it's a catastrophe. It's the worst year ever. I just can't hardly stand it. I'm just angry and depressed, and I mean, it's just like this year in the garden has been ferocious. And it hasn't even really started, but I don't know if it's going to make it. Anyways, we're going to go around. I'll show you some things, show you what we're talking about, show you what we've been dealing with this year so far. It's been interesting, and as far as the forecast comes, it doesn't look any different. So I think we're in trouble here in the garden and the greenhouse. But let's go take a peek at some things and show you what's going on, and more importantly, what's not going on. It's been fun. First and foremost, we'll come right here in the greenhouse and I'll show you my pumpkin plants that we've been trying to grow, and you can see that they are bigger, but if you look real close, they are in dire shape, guys. We've had some extreme sun, some temperatures that are pretty outrageous, but I imagine all across the country. I know you guys have been feeling the same thing. It's been kind of crazy, and I haven't got any shade cloth. I'm thinking about using tarps just to do something in here, but it's still just not going real well. You can see all kinds of sunburn on the plants over there. And if you get closer, you'll see that we've had quite a major bug problem. And I'll show you if I can find some. We're kind of coming down on them, but they've done some serious damage. Okay, I don't know if you can see those in there, guys, or not, but they are what I have determined to be false chinch bugs. And you see there are some dead ones in there, but there's quite a few live ones. We've been dealing with those for about a month now, and this has actually come down in the numbers quite a bit. You could see a little bit of a graveyard over here of some we've destroyed over the last few weeks, but we still have some live ones. I thought we had them whooped. Here's a couple that are moving around right there. They've come down in numbers quite a bit, like I said, but boy, last 2 weeks, it has been ferocious, guys. I mean, like, just crazy. The amount of, I mean, you guys have been around some chinch bugs or some false chinch bugs, and you know they can swarm like crazy. And we've been swarmed with millions of them on here on the property, and they've been attacking a variety of plants, including our pumpkin plants over here. I would come out here and they would be just covering this thing, and they were killing leaves, and you can see some damage from the sun, as well as also you can see some bug damage over here as well. And we thought we had them whooped, and you know what, the numbers are down quite a bit, and you can still see a couple in there cruising around, but they're not going crazy right now, so thank the Lord for that. I was wondering if they were going to make it, and I think we might have made it through the worst of the bug situation, and now we're just dealing with the heat and the dry. But I was trying to decide on which plant I was going to keep, because you know, guys, I was going to keep one plant in here and the other one I was going to have to snap. And I was feeling bad about doing that, because here in a minute I'm going to go out and show you my pumpkins in the garden, and they're almost non-existent. But so I was like, man, I'm not going to have anything. But I was like, which one am I going to keep? Well, today the decision has been made for me, and it's been taken out of my hands. I've been using these little sticks here to kind of help guide the main vine. Anyways, I actually moved these here earlier, but help guide the main vine. And this morning I put it down where I wanted. I come back out after I opened the windows up and got everything going for the day. Unfortunately, it gets really dry in here because we don't have humidity here in the high desert of Idaho. And so it got hot and dry in here, and my main vine, if I can show you that right there, guys, just snapped. Look at that. That was a sad sight to see out here, guys. Oh man. Anyways, it's done for as far as the main vine goes, as far as I'm concerned. I believe that's the end of the main vine. I may let this plant just keep growing now and let these secondaries go out under the dill there, do what it wants. Maybe it'll grow, I mean, who knows, maybe it'll grow a little 100-pound pumpkin, which would be cool, but I don't expect it to do a whole lot because it's going to be going yonder way. But I will run this secondary right here out. So my dream of an 800-pound pumpkin on that or a plus is done. And if you look over here, this is my other one, which was my backup, which was just a little bit behind, if you can tell This one was a little bit ahead, had a little bit more solid. I thought so, anyhow, main vine. But this one's going, and she's still going. So we're gonna redirect that main vine coming back out this way, and we're gonna give it a go, and that's gonna be my main pumpkin, if I can salvage it. But you can see it's been hit pretty hard with the bugs and the sun. Like that right there is bug kill, and then a little bit of sunburn as well. Sunburn, bug kill. I mean, it's just that right down there, a little leaf down there is kill from the chinch bugs. There's a little chinch. Look at him crawling around in there, trying to attack my pumpkin plant. But anyways, guys, that's what's going on in here. It could be catastrophic. My other plants are not looking so good. The old tomatoes are barely growing. It's just been so dry, I can't keep it humid in here with these windows and doors open. It's just the way it is around here. You guys that have humidity don't know, I guess, what it's like. You have the opposite problem. You're trying to dry it out a little bit, and we're trying to get it humid in here. But I transplanted a couple zucchinis in here and a couple watermelons in here because, frankly, I didn't have too much faith in my pumpkins, and I thought, well, we're gonna try something. But the transplant has not gone very well, and it's starting to come back to life. But it had, well, this little watermelon, for instance, had, you know, man, if it like 500 false chinch bugs on there, and it dang near killed it. So, you know, we're fighting the bugs, the heat, everything. It's just been a disaster. The wind outside. Now the outside's a different story, but let's go check it out, guys. We're hanging on in here by a thread. Hopefully these bugs will leave, and we can at least just battle the sun, maybe with some tarps in here, and see how that goes. But yeah, the pumpkin plants are looking kind of, let's go outside. And as we walk down here to the gate to the garden, we'll just note that it is starting to get windy, so hopefully it won't disturb my microphone so much if I can keep it covered. But we had wind every day, guys, and that's the other part of the problem is the wind dries out the plant. It dries out the topsoil. Underneath stays wet, and so you have a really weird set of circumstances where it's actually too wet on the roots and things, but the top is too dry. Mixed in with the bugs, what do you see, guys? Not a whole lot, huh? It's just been it's been interesting. They got some lettuce growing there barely, but the other thing is, so guys, we were having 95-degree days or so with a lot of wind, and so it was really tough keeping it wet out here, and it was just drying it out a whole lot. And then also we had a 3-night spell of some super hard frost. It was down in the 20s, and we were out here with, I think I showed you, with some tarps and things, and we did our best, but it did some damage, guys. We did lose some plants from the cold. So then going from hot dry to really cold, and then snap back into hot with some wind, and then all of a sudden we had this infestation of bugs, guys. And so like all of our beets, we had a really good little couple rows of beets going here, and they are all but gone. There's a couple in here, maybe one right over there, somewhere in there. There's a couple, but they're all but gone. And that is because of the conditions going back and forth, and then the bugs got in here, and those bugs just ate them up. For some reason, they really love the beets. They liked my lettuce quite a bit, but you can see we have a little bit of lettuce trickling out there. And they ate quite a few of my carrots. They didn't wipe them out. There are a few carrots in here, and I think you might be able to see them down on this end real quick. So I don't know if you can see, guys, there is a couple little rows left of carrots, and but it's thinned out. The bugs thinned them out. The heat and the frost thinned them out. So we won't have to thin them out, but yippee-doo-dah day on that. It's been something. This little row of lettuce seems to be doing all right here. And then we planted that a little bit later, but it's a different type. And apparently the bugs didn't enjoy it as well, and we may have some lettuce. Mostly for our chickens. I like to grow that lettuce for chickens and stuff, and we do eat a little bit here and there, but let me back up a little bit. We have a few radish plants. These are called a watermelon radish, and we do have a few of those growing, but as you can see, there's spaces where either the weather or the bugs have killed them. Now back here in the back of the garden, you can see right along here, we do have some little corn stalks growing, and they're doing okay, but then there's like a 6 foot, 7 foot section here where they just disappeared, whether it was from the weather or the bugs, I'm not sure. But there is a gap in the corn as well. So I put that in mainly for a wind block, but we're gonna have an opening here. Now yesterday, we had, as you can see, I have a row of sunflowers growing here. And yesterday, my wife came out and was pulling some weeds out of here, and it was looking really cool, and we had all these big, these are mammoth sunflowers, and they were all growing like that, really nice, all the way down here. I come out this morning, and there is that section that is missing. Now, I'm not sure if it was a rabbit or one of my turkeys maybe came over and stuck its head through the fence and maybe was popping them off, but one or the other. You think the rabbits would have been doing it already, so it could have been the turkeys because they could just see them there because there's no weeds there. We're just not sure what happened with that, and hopefully I'm gonna take a peek in the morning to see if anything else happened before I let the turkeys out, to whether I can tell if it's you know, whether if it's the rabbits or the turkeys. So we'll see what happens with that. We do have quite a few peas growing right in here, and usually the peas do pretty fair for us. You can see a little yellowing on there. So I'm either assuming maybe that could be overwatering because we've been having to water so much, so the roots might be getting too wet, or a lack of nitrogen. So I did put out a little bit of fertilizer today, so if it's nitrogen, I expect that to kind of remedy itself. If not, it might be the overwatering, which is something we can't stop doing because of the wind and the sun. So yippee-doo, here we go. I transplanted a couple of watermelons out here, and as you can see, they are not doing real well. The weather has been ferocious. There's another one. When the sun comes out, I try to put this over as a little bit of a shade, but they've been struggling, guys. This little zucchini in here has been struggling, but it's showing some promise finally, so it may make it. It wasn't looking good. It was looking kind of like this one here, and check that out. That thing is just, that's toast. Here's a little watermelon. It's doing its thing. Let's go check the pumpkins out real quick. So right here we have another couple rows of corn. They seem to be doing okay. Matter of fact, I would say that's probably doing the best out of anything. But so that's cool. That's another wind block for our pumpkins. If we can get any pumpkins to grow, come check this out. Look at this. Dire shape. Not doing good. Not doing good. Over here, these were the 600s. Not doing good. I brought out a couple of these 600s that were in the greenhouse, and they just are not doing it, guys. I mean, I don't know what it is. I've put shade up, I've tried plastic, I've tried extra water, I've tried less water, I've tried just about anything, and these things wilt every day. I'm not sure if I have too much manure in the ground. I'm gonna put out some sulfur and see if that's the trick or not. But they're just not getting it, guys. We do have some more sunflowers back there mixing in with the weeds, a few of them anyhow. Just really, everything's poor. The sun, the wind, the dry air is not a good combo at all. This pumpkin sure does try. It's one of those 600s as well. It's done a little bit better, but as you can see, it hasn't done anything since it's come out. It's just been staying alive. I've recently tried putting this plastic on, and it's helped a little bit, but I haven't seen no advancements in that, so I don't know if I need to just create a shade cloth for it or what, but it's not looking good. And we're looking to get into the 90s again pretty soon. Well, it's probably 90 today, but we're looking to get into the 90s pretty soon, and it's going to start cooking it again. These two here are actually starting to come back to life. I'm pretty excited about it. These were not looking good at all, and I did start using the plastic. That seemed to help quite a bit on these, and they're coming back to life. I think I have 4 of these that are doing about that good. They're not growing, but you see they're greening up and coming back to life. If you would have seen them before, they looked, oh, maybe like this one, kind of like that one, or maybe if I have another one down here, maybe like this one. This little guy right there hasn't been doing much, but if you take a step to the left, I have another one that's starting to come back to life, and then this one right here doing the same thing. So we are trying to stay in the ball game, but it's just not looking good for pumpkins this year, guys. unless we get a change in weather. If we cool off a little bit and get some rain, get some more humidity and some more clouds. Like today we actually have a few clouds, which is kind of neat. It's been a while, but good grief. And of course right over there we have our only jack-o'-lantern pumpkin left, and it's not much to write home about. But as you look across the garden there, guys, it's pretty slim pickings. The one thing I didn't talk about is that row over there is potatoes, and they are doing pretty well. But as expected, potatoes in Idaho, I mean, it's not just a joke. They actually do grow pretty well here. So no big surprise that we can grow potatoes. I guess let's take a look. They're probably the best looking thing we got, and they're not crazy good, but I mean they're doing all right. So good grief, guys, it's not looking good. I will check in with you here in a couple weeks on the garden and hope we can get some kind of revival out here and get this thing growing again. But it's not looking like a great year, but we're gonna keep trying. I'm going to keep trying no matter how discouraged I get, like my pumpkin in my greenhouse when it just broke. And I just found that out about, it hasn't even been an hour ago. Very discouraged. And but it made my decision on which one to grow a lot easier. I know which one I'm going to go for now. I'm going to be a little more conservative on my pinning down the vine with my little sticks there. But I've rambled on long enough, guys. I just had to come show you what's going on, or what actually isn't going on. It's been kind of taxing. These little bugs have been driving me nuts. They've been getting in the houses and the campers and the shop, and they're everywhere. They're a nuisance, and I hope they're gone soon. I know you guys, some of you guys have probably dealt with them, and they can be quite the little ordeal. But anyways, thanks for coming along, guys. I'm gonna let you go. Cows are over there having some grass, a little time in the pasture, and I may have a dill, and Meadow might be, which one is she? She's the one on the left there, I think. Yeah, Meadow on the left, now she's crossed. Anyways, we may have sold her, and she may be moving on to a new homestead, and that'll be exciting for her, because we were starting to debate on whether we should spay her and turn her into a beef animal, because we just don't have space for more babies, and I didn't want to get her pregnant by Tater because she is rather small and everything. So hopefully that's going to work out. I'll know that pretty soon, sometime this week, and we might say goodbye to her. But thanks for coming along, guys. Happy gardening if you have one. If not, enjoy the weather. I hope these 100-degree temperatures lower for everybody as it's dragging on, and it's not even July yet. So good luck with everything, guys. We'll catch up with you later. I'm gonna go get a drink of water and try not to cry about my garden. Anyways, we'll talk to you later. Have a good one.